How well do you know your neighbors? In a quiet corner outside of Philadelphia, Jackson Trent moved into a modest apartment. At first, everything seemed ordinary. Friends came over to see the new place, handshakes and hellos in the hallways with new neighbors. But after several months, strange things began to happen. The neighbor next door started appearing at odd hours. The neighbor insisted they'd had regular conversations with him, recalling topics they had discussed, referencing years before Jackson lived in the apartment. At first, Jackson was polite, showing the neighbor kindness. Perhaps his new neighbor held a job requiring off hours and high stress, as Jackson never saw them in the halls during his daily comings and goings. But as time went on, the visits became more frequent and increasingly intrusive and violent. The neighbor would scream and bang on the door when Jackson refused to answer. As this unexpected pattern continued, unease settled in, and suddenly, the neighbor began to show up inside the apartment, unannounced and all but welcome. Management was no help. Jackson desperately asked his new neighbors about the neighbor from 2 doors down, begging them to give him any information, if they had seen them, talked with them, if they knew their name. No neighbor knew what he was talking about. No one had seen such a neighbor, nor had anyone seen anyone harassing Jackson at the late hours. Jackson was at his wit's end. He contacted authorities to file a report of the harassment his new neighbor had been bestowing upon him for the weeks prior. When authorities approached the neighbor's apartment, however, they were met with a dead end. No one lived in the apartment Jackson had seen the neighbor going in and out of so many times. It had been vacant for months. So who had been harassing Jackson? Was it an unhoused squatter? Or was it something more sinister? What do you think? For more tales, like and subscribe to this channel.